In this article, I'm sharing 11 top tips that can help you become a better software developer. 1. Always learn. The tech industry is very volatile and things change all the time. There are so many technologies to learn and so many languages to choose from. This can be quite intimidating. But if you have the right mindset, and you like learning new things, you can enjoy the journey without feeling overwhelmed. And of course, everyone learns differently. To find the method that works best for you, and get good at it. 2. Pick one language and stick to it. If you try to learn too many things at once, you're more likely to lose your motivation and give up. Forget about the endless stream of articles and people telling you that you need to learn this new language or that new library. Instead, pick just one that you're excited about, start with the basics and stick with it until you're comfortable with it. As you get started, it may be a good idea to read the documentation and follow some tutorials, to get a basic grasp of the language. But after that, there's no better way to learn a language than to build something with it. Only after you have a good understanding of the fundamentals, consider learning a new language to broaden your skills. 3. Build something. Maybe there's an app or a website that you wanted to build for a long time. Make this a side project. If you can, set aside some time to work on it every day. Maybe you'll feel that you're not accomplishing much on any given day, but Rome wasn't built in a day. After a few weeks or months, you'll see your product coming to life, and this is extremely satisfying. Choose a project that challenges you, but is not too far above your skill level. As you build your confidence, you can go bigger and tackle more complex projects. You only improve when you keep challenging yourself. Keep building new and different things. 4. Break out of tutorial hell. If you are just starting to learn, it's very easy to fall into a trap where you do tutorial after tutorial after tutorial. Guess what? Once you get a job, no one is going to hold your hand, and there won't be a tutorial for every single task you need to get done. Try to break out of this cycle, and figure things out on your own. By solving problems yourself, your learning will improve considerably and you'll have a more concrete understanding of how things work. 5. Read the documentation. This is the single best way of breaking out of tutorial hell. And the good news is that documentation is just one click away. You can easily see the documentation for your SDK or libraries you use right from your editor. To be fair, not all documentation is created equal and some languages have it better than others. But knowing how to read it and use it, means that you no longer have to rely on tutorials. 6. Learn how to debug. Coding is great, but it can also be a frustrating experience. It's hard to know up front every state that your code can be in, though writing tests helps with that. Sometimes things won't work, and you'll find yourself stuck for hours without making progress. So what can you do when that happens? If you're getting some errors in your console, read them carefully as they may contain the information you need to solve your problem. Try to become familiar with the debugging tools in your code editor. Use print statements and breakpoints to step through your code and verify your assumptions, and learn more advanced debugging techniques too. These can save you a lot of time. 7. Get good at Googling. This is an essential skill that programmers use all the time, even senior ones. So knowing how to find answers effectively can save you a lot of time. If you encounter an error, you can copy-paste it into your favorite search engine, and carefully review all the relevant answers. It may take you a bit of time to figure out how to do this effectively, but you'll get better at it over time. 8. Understand how the code actually works. We've all been there. We found some code on Stack Overflow, and added it to our project, hoping it might work. Don't just stop there. Take the time to understand how the code works. Make sure that it works under all possible cases, and adjust it to fit your project style and conventions. As a word of caution, code that you find on Stack Overflow or other forums gets quickly out of date. See tip number 5 about reading the documentation. 9. Reach out if you need help. If you can't find the answer you need, don't let that discourage you. You can always post your question on Stack Overflow. When you do this, choose a good title, and try to give enough context so that others can help you. Also, find out if your specific language or framework has a Slack or Discord channel, and join it. You may just find that there is an entire community of developers that are willing to help, as long as you're polite and ask nicely. 10. Learn how to write tests. This will make you a better developer, and force you to think about all possible edge cases in your code, not just the happy path. It will also teach you how to write testable code, and learn about important concepts like dependency injection. When you choose which tests to write, ask yourself, what would be the impact if this feature didn't work? Then prioritize writing tests by impact. A broken link for showing the terms and conditions on the setting page may not be a big deal. A purchase flow that fails and doesn't unlock core features in your app is a big deal. Try to have good test coverage for business-critical code, and automate as many tests as possible. 11. Learn Git and how to use the terminal. No matter what area of programming you're in, you need at least some basic knowledge of Git and the command line. You'll be using these tools day in, day out. Try to learn about the more advanced features of Git as well. These will be very helpful when you work on projects with multiple collaborators. Also, become familiar with continuous integration systems and how to set them up. Thank you for reading this article. Don't forget to follow me to read more articles like this.